Funeral of the late Elvin Nimrod postponed. This is Special Report, the weekend edition. We'll have more of that and others when we return.
Building a home is everyone's dream, but furnishings can be a hassle. Why not visit Paddy's Enterprise and Hardware Limited on the Sister Isle of Carriacou? They offer a wide range of face basins, porcelain and ceramic tiles. And to make your home complete, you can check out their refrigerators, stoves, shower enclosures and panels, vanities, washing machines, fans and freezers. For your outdoor chores, they have floor pots, ladders and black water tanks. All this and more is available at Paddy's Enterprise and Hardware, located in Hillsborough. You can contact them today on 443-8211 or 8210 for more information.
Welcome back. I am Lisa Marie Simon. March 12 was the date set for an official funeral of the late Elvin Nimrod. However, at the request of the family, the funeral was postponed. According to a release from the Government Information Service, the postponement of the official funeral of the late Elvin Nimrod, former Deputy Prime Minister, the government of Grenada advises that this was done at the request of a close family member who arrived on the island too late to complete the mandatory 7-day quarantine. Based on a deep desire to attend the funeral in person, the request for postponement was made to the government on Thursday night. Government must therefore respect the wishes of the family, since its role is only to facilitate an official funeral for the late former Deputy Prime Minister. A new date will be given once this has been agreed upon by the family. The National Disaster Management, in collaboration with the Intergovernmental Coordination Group for Tsunami and Other Coastal Hazards Warning System for the Caribbean and adjacent regions, conducted the annual Carib Wave exercise. This year's scenario involved a tsunami generated by a magnitude of 8.5 earthquake located off the northern Lesser Antilles. Students of Harveyville Government School participated in the exercise. Community Program Officer at NADMA Carriacou is Bernice Date.
Exercise is a regional exercise that is held every year within the Caribbean region. It's just a matter of to test our response and our preparedness as it relates to response for tsunami. Last week Friday we would have conducted a drill, an earthquake drill with the Harveyville Government School with the teachers, the principal and persons in the surrounding community as how to respond in the event there is an earthquake that occurred within the school environment. Today we basically did the tsunami drill, whereby we had the students, a scenario was conducted at the playing field, at the Harveyville playing field, whereby the students would have to evacuate to go to the muster point. The muster point is identified as the Harveyville Government School. So that is basically what the drill entails, and it's a matter of testing our response, our mechanism, and of course the new protocol that is established for Carriacou and Petit-Manic.
Date said they're satisfied with the level of response.
I must say we are very much satisfied as it relates to the response, the preparedness and the response as it relates to the students and the teachers and the persons who participated in the drill this morning. We do have an evaluator, so of course that will be evaluated, and we will of course identify our strengths and our weaknesses and improve thereof.
Carib Wave is a tsunami exercise held annually in the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, under the direction of UNESCO and the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center. Members of the Public Workers Union will on March 16th vote to elect a new executive. One of the positions being contested is Public Relations Officer. One of the candidates for that position is Deanna Isaac. Ms. Isaac spoke of her plans should she be elected.
Members always complain that we don't hear from the union, except once in a blue moon you may get an email and get an update as to what is happening. But being in direct contact with our members have been one of the weaknesses. So I have decided, knowing that I have experience in the area, being the public relations officer in the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique Affairs for the last 13 years, and having worked with the Grenada Broadcasting Network for 7 years, I know that I have the experience, the skills, and the knowledge to help build the union in that capacity. If I am elected as the public relations officer, that I can be able to create that greater link between members and the union executive by doing a number of things. One, the creation of a monthly program. I have thought about it, I lay on my bed, I have prayed, and the name came PW Connects. So that would be one of our programs on a monthly basis using all mediums. And as you know, people use a lot of Facebook these days, Instagram, but we cannot forget our mainstream media. So we'll be utilizing all mediums to ensure the message of PW gets across. And not only the workings of the union, but we want to ensure that our members understand the labor laws and even the laws that governs their employment. We cannot just keep all the information to ourselves as an executive. They need to know what is happening. So I'm hoping that I will be elected as a public relations officer so that I can share all the union's information with our members, and not only in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, but right across the Tri-Island state. So I'm hoping that we'll have more workplace visits and more up-to-date information being passed on to our members so that they can feel empowered and they can feel a part of the union. Because we need to understand that Public Workers Union is not the executive. The executive are also members. We are also paying dues just as our members in the different workplaces. The members are the union. The members are what is important to ensure Public Workers Union rise.
Isaac encouraged all workers to vote to help move the union forward.
I am encouraging our members right across Grenada to come out on elections day and vote. I will not tell you to not just only vote for me, but we have to vote for an entire executive. Yes, I'm promoting myself in the post of Public Relations Officer, but that is not the only post that will be contested on elections day. We have the post of President, First Vice President, Second Vice President, our Treasurer, Public Relations Officer, and we have the post of Secretary. So it's not just about me. It's about the other members who will also be, who have placed themselves to be in the race, and I'm wishing all nominees the best on elections day. And even though some of us may not get elected, we may not win, I believe the union needs all of us, because the Public Workers Union is about all of us as public officers.
We're taking a quick break. We'll be back after this. You're looking at this view of a golden sun just before it sets over the Paradise Beach. Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. Predator larceny is an issue faced on the island from time to time. Resident in the Boseju area, Carlene Taylor, shares her experience with this issue.
Well, it's been going on a couple of years now, where other people, animals, come into my yard and distress me. Right now I don't have a garden, and I don't have in particular my fowls. I've been trying to build back the flock, and for some reason or the other people just take mortgage on my animals and them. For instance, last year, or is it the year before, they set poison for my fowls and them. So I lost almost all of my fowls. This year, a guy from Kako find himself in close proximity to my house, my home, and they're shooting my fowls. I came out and I caught him in the act doing that. I said to him, I said, "Are you shooting my fowls?" He started telling me, no, Tanti, the fowls and them is his fowls. I said, your fowls? Yes, I just mind fouls and whatever, a sort of nonsense. Eventually he left. When I looked, four of my cocks missing. I had two remaining. He came back. I had to say it is him because he's the one I caught shooting my fowls in the first place. He came back and one of the roosters go missing, and then now Saturday or Sunday there was a big sort of noise adjacent to me. I thought it was a cow, but afterwards I realized that it was him. He killed he shot my last remaining rooster in the yard, and I have to say along with some hens because they are all missing. So it's very hard. It is very, very hard for me because I'm sacrificing to buy the corn. Corn now is between $60 and $65 a bag. But that is another case. The cost on feed. And for them this person to be coming now and shooting my fowls. I even mentioned it to a couple of people and they're telling me, oh it's wild fowl. How the hell my fowls could be wild fowls? They're not wild. They have owner. When they see me, they come running. But yet for all, you're leaving Kako to come in the back where I am living to shoot my fowls. That kind of is unreasonable behavior.
Taylor said more seriousness needs to be given when reports of predial larceny are made.
It makes sense reporting predial larceny in Carriacou. Does it make sense? Who is going to come out and see or take or listen or take my report on that? Nobody. I've never heard people who this thing happened to with their animals and stuff report and they get any kind of satisfaction. None. Something have to be done about this thing in Carriacou. If people take the law into their own hands and they catch the person or people doing this to them and they damage them, it's the owner, not them, the owner or the person who attacked them on their own property is the one that's going to be arrested. Not the one who come into the yard and pilfering. So the law is not for us. Sterner laws where predial larceny is concerned. People mustn't just laugh and think it's a joke that you lose a sheep, you lose a goat. So what? Where's the big deal? People come in and shoot in your fowl. So what? There must be wild fowl. Yeah, they had to pay for it because there's a cost. There's a cost to everything. There's a cost to your time, your labor, your effort, and taking care of the animals. The feed, the prices on these things are so exorbitant, and people just take things for granted in this place. They have to be more serious about predial larceny. Not just stern laws, but they must arrest the person, let them pay, and part of the payment too should be assisting the people that they cause this mishap or injury to. They must pay for their crimes. They must pay for their crimes. But police supposed to be more serious. Community policing should be. People must be seeing them. You must be able to talk to them without fear or favor.
When asked what will be her next move, Ms. Taylor had this response.
Well, I give up not on mining, the animals. I have to build back my flock. I'm not going to give up on bringing them back. But humanity makes you feel as though, well, what's the sense? What's the use? You know how hard it is to bring up one chicken and come and fall, not broilers or layers, common fowls. I had to ask my cousins and them to help me. They would bring the hen, they will bring the children, and I'm mining them from out of the shell. Because when they come, they're still wetty, they're still fluff. And I'm mining them from that to fruition. And I'm being distressed. But I need help. I need for my fowl house to be rebuilt. I have materials, but there's no help. Anybody coming to say, well, help me do over the fowl house so I can keep my fowl safe.
People who have an interest in learning to swim can now do so, as free swim classes is being offered by Lumba Dive PADI 5-star at Tyrrell Bay. The classes are held every Saturday at 2 p.m. for children 7 to 7. The classes are being held every Saturday at 2 p.m. for kids 7 to 15 years old and 3:30 to 4:30 to anyone over 16 years. Registration can be done via WhatsApp on 473-457-4539. That's 457-4539. Or email at dive@lumbadive.com. That's DIVE@LUMBADIVE.com. For kids under 15 years, the registration form need to be signed by parents or tutor. And finally, on the weekend edition, a recent fishing expedition for fishermen in Carriacou and Petite Martinique had landed them large catches. The fish caught by Petite Martinique fishermen is believed to have weighed over 100 pounds, while the one caught by the fishermen in Carriacou weighed over 300 pounds. And that's all for now on this special report, the weekend edition. I am Lisa Marie Simon on behalf of KOMG Production. Thank you for joining us.